Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English with Jane. I'm Jane, and I'm really happy to see you here again today. I hope you're feeling good, relaxed, and ready to learn something new with us.
And I'm Paul. We are so happy to be here with you today. Every time we come together like this, it feels like we're talking with friends who are walking beside us on this English learning journey. It's always a joy to share our English tips.
Yes, Paul, it really is. And as always, before we start our wonderful chat today, we kindly ask you to like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. It helps us a lot, and it really encourages us to create even more helpful content for you.
Exactly. Your support means the world to us. Every little action, liking, sharing, subscribing, really does make a difference. Thank you so much for being part of our community.
Now, Paul, speaking of learning and growing together, today we're talking about something extremely important, something that many English learners struggle with. And honestly, I think almost everyone experiences this at some point. It's all about training your mouth and your mind for English.
Oh, yes, Jane. This is a topic that comes up all the time. People ask us, why can I understand English but not speak it? And today we're finally going to talk about that in a clear and simple way.
Exactly. So if you've ever felt stuck or frustrated when trying to speak, don't worry, you're not alone. And this next part is going to explain why this happens and what's really going on behind the scenes.
Right. So let's jump into the first big question. Why do so many learners understand English but still can't speak it?
Let's dive right in.
So, like we said a moment ago, Jane, this is a question we hear all the time. Why do I understand English but I can't speak it? And honestly, it's such a common experience that sometimes people think something is wrong with them. But really, nothing is wrong at all.
Yes, exactly. Many people feel embarrassed or frustrated because they understand English very well. They can read it, they can listen to it, they can enjoy movies, songs, and even funny videos in English. But when it's time to speak, everything suddenly feels difficult or slow. And that moment can be so confusing.
Right. But the explanation is actually very simple. It's not about intelligence and it's not about ability. It's really about training, or more specifically, the lack of training for the mouth. This surprises a lot of people because they think learning English is something only the brain does.
Exactly, Paul. But the truth is, your mouth needs practice just like your brain does. It's like this. You can know how to drive a car perfectly by reading a book about it. But if you've never sat in the driver's seat, your hands and feet simply don't know what to do yet. Your brain knows it, but your body hasn't learned it.
Yes, and speaking a new language is very similar. Your brain might know the words, might know the grammar, but your mouth hasn't learned how to move in the right way yet. It hasn't learned the rhythm, the shape, or the flow needed for English.
And that's why sometimes your mouth feels slow or nervous or like it gets stuck. It's not because you're not good at English. It's because your mouth is used to speaking your first language. And your first language has different sounds, different movements, and different muscle habits.
Exactly. And our mouths, even though we don't think of them this way, are basically made of muscles. Not like the muscles we use to lift heavy things, but still muscles that move and work. And muscles need training. They need repetition. They need time.
That's such a good comparison, Paul, because when you go to the gym, you don't expect big muscles after one workout, right? You go again and again. And slowly, those muscles get stronger, get more flexible, and start doing things more naturally.
Exactly. And the same thing happens with your mouth when you speak English. At first, the movements might feel strange or stiff. You might feel slow. But with practice, real physical practice, your mouth learns. It builds muscle memory. And suddenly the sounds become natural.
So the real reason why people understand but can't speak isn't about being smart or not smart. It's simply that their mouth hasn't had enough training. Speaking is physical. It's mechanical, and it gets better with practice.
Yes, absolutely. And once learners understand this, they stop feeling bad about themselves and start focusing on the right kind of training, which is exactly what we'll talk about next.
Right. Because now that we know why this happens, we can move on to how to fix it. And one of the best ways to begin training your mouth is a technique we love so much.
Yes, shadowing, a simple but powerful method that can transform the way you speak.
Let's talk about it. So now that we understand why speaking feels difficult, let's talk about one of the best ways to start training your mouth. And Paul, you already mentioned it a moment ago, shadowing. This technique is simple, but honestly, it's kind of magical.
Oh, yes, Jane. I absolutely love shadowing. It's one of my favorite techniques because it works for almost everyone. And the best part is anyone can do it anywhere. People always ask me, Paul, how do I make my mouth move like a native speaker? And shadowing is usually my first answer.
I can totally see why. So Paul, let's explain it clearly. What exactly is shadowing? Because the name itself sounds a little mysterious.
Yeah, yes, it does. But the idea is actually very simple. Shadowing means you listen to someone speaking English, maybe in a video, a podcast, or even a short clip, and you repeat what they say almost at the same time, like their shadow, not after a long pause, but right away or just a tiny moment later.
So it's almost like being an echo, right? You hear the sound and then, boom, you repeat it immediately.
Exactly. And the goal is not just to say the words, it's to copy everything. The pronunciation, the intonation, the rhythm, the flow. You're basically trying to become the speaker for a moment, like an actor stepping into someone else's voice.
That sounds like so much fun, actually. So if I hear someone say, "Hello, how are you today?" I immediately say, "Hello, how are you today?" Trying to match their voice and their style as closely as possible.
Yes, that's exactly it. And one important thing, don't stop. Even if you don't understand every single word, just keep repeating. Shadowing is not about understanding every detail. It's about training your mouth to move in English. It's about making the sounds feel natural.
Right, because earlier we said the mouth needs physical training, and shadowing gives your mouth that exact physical workout, but in a very natural way.
Absolutely. And there's another benefit too. When you shadow, you're not only speaking, you're also listening very carefully. You have to listen closely to match the speed, the tone, and the feeling. So you're improving two skills at once, listening and speaking.
I love that. It really is like language exercise, and people don't need to feel scared because they can start super simple, right? They don't have to shadow long speeches or fast conversations.
Exactly, Jane. You can start with short sentences, children's videos, slow podcasts, anything that feels manageable. Then, when you get comfortable, you can move on to longer or faster content. It's all about imitating, not about perfection.
And I think that's the important part, not trying to be perfect, just trying to get your mouth used to the English sounds.
Yes, and after a while, you'll notice something amazing. Your mouth starts moving more easily, words come out faster, your pronunciation becomes clearer, and you start sounding more natural without even thinking about it.
That's so encouraging, Paul. And shadowing really is a great way to begin this journey. But it's not the only way. After shadowing, there's another simple method that helps unlock your mouth even more.
Oh, yes, Jane. Repeating simple phrases daily. One of my personal favorites.
Let's talk about that next.
So now that we've talked about shadowing and how powerful it is, let's move on to another simple but incredibly effective method. And Paul, you've mentioned this many times before, repeating simple phrases every day. It sounds so easy that people might not realize how important it really is.
Yes, Jane, absolutely. Repeating simple phrases daily is like doing warm-up exercises for your mouth. Just like singers warm up their voices or athletes stretch their muscles, English learners need to warm up their speaking muscles too. And simple phrases are perfect for that.
Exactly. A lot of learners think they need to say long, complicated sentences to improve, but that's not true at all. Simple phrases are like little keys. They unlock the mouth. They help your tongue move. They get your voice flowing. Even small phrases can make a huge difference.
That's right. Something short and positive, like I'm ready, or I can do it, or let's go, helps your mouth practice English sounds without stress. And even everyday expressions like good morning or thank you are excellent warm ups.
And the best part is, you can say them with emotion. If you're feeling happy, you can say, I'm ready, with a big smile. If you're a little tired, you can say it softly, I'm ready. It's fun and it connects your feelings to the way you speak.
Yes, that emotional connection is very powerful. When you say phrases with feeling, your mouth becomes more relaxed and natural. It becomes easier to produce the sounds the right way. And the more you repeat these simple phrases, the more automatic they become.
Exactly, just like learning a new song. At first, you read the lyrics carefully, but after a while, you don't need the lyrics anymore. You just sing. Your mouth remembers, your voice remembers.
Yes, that's the magic of repetition. And once the simple phrases feel easy, you can slowly try longer ones, step by step. No pressure, just natural growth.
I love that. And the good thing is, these short phrases don't take much time. You can say them in the morning, during a break, while waiting for your coffee, or even while walking. They fit into your day so naturally.
Exactly. And the goal can be very small, maybe just 30 seconds or 1 minute a day. But even that tiny bit helps your mouth stay active in English. And the more active it is, the easier speaking becomes.
So, simple phrases are like a daily English snack, small, quick, but full of energy for your speaking skills.
Yes, perfectly said, Jane. And now that we've talked about warming up with simple phrases, there's another fun technique that helps even more. And some people might think it sounds a bit funny at first.
Oh, yes, speaking out loud, even when you're alone. One of my favorites.
Let's dive into that next.
So, now that we've warmed up with simple phrases, let's talk about another powerful technique. And honestly, Paul, this one always makes people smile or feel a little shy at first. But once they try it, they usually fall in love with it.
Oh, yes, Jane. This one is fun, effective, and completely free. And it's something you can do anywhere, especially at home where no one is watching. I'm talking about speaking out loud, even when you're alone.
Exactly. Some people think it sounds strange, But it's actually one of the best ways to get your mouth moving in English. When you talk to yourself, there's no pressure, no judgment, no fear of making mistakes. It's your own private English zone.
Yes, that's the best part. You can speak freely. You can experiment. You can make mistakes, and nobody will correct you or look at you funny. Your home becomes your safe practice space.
And you can talk about anything, your plans, your day, your thoughts. For example, you can say, I am making coffee now. It smells good. I need a cup. Simple, natural sentences that connect your actions to English words.
Exactly. Or you can say something like, I need to clean the house today. First, I will clean the kitchen, then the bedroom. Or even describe the things you see. This is a book. It is red. It is on the table. It may sound basic, but it works like magic.
Yes. And when you describe things out loud, your brain and your mouth start working together. Your brain finds the words, and your mouth practices forming them. It's like building a little English circuit inside your head.
And here's the thing. You don't need a partner to practice speaking. You can be your own partner. And sometimes that's even better because you get constant practice without waiting for someone else to talk.
Right. And the goal here isn't to be perfect. The goal is simply to produce sound, to let English come out of your mouth. Even if you make mistakes, it doesn't matter. This is just practice time.
Exactly. The more you speak aloud, just simple things, the more natural it feels. And your brain starts connecting words with actions, objects, and moments in your day. That connection is powerful. It builds real fluency over time.
And once you get used to talking to yourself, something amazing happens. English starts popping into your mind more naturally. You begin to notice yourself thinking in English, not just speaking it.
Yes, and that brings us to a very important next step. Training your mind to think in English. A step-by-step process that changes everything.
Let's explore how to do that. So in the last part, we talked about speaking out loud, even when you're alone. And honestly, Paul, when people start doing that, something interesting begins to happen in their minds. Little by little, they stop translating every single word from their first language. Instead, English starts to appear more naturally in their thoughts.
Yes, exactly, Jane. And that brings us to this next big step, thinking in English. Now, when people hear this, they often think it sounds difficult or even impossible. They imagine having deep, complex thoughts in English right away. But that's not how it works at all.
Right. You don't need to jump into thinking about philosophy or the meaning of life in English. Thinking in English starts very, very small. It's more about tiny moments in your day than big ideas.
Exactly. You begin with simple words. When you see water, you think water. When you feel hungry, you think I'm hungry. When you feel cold, you think it's cold. Just one quick English word or one simple English sentence.
And that's such a helpful shift because normally people think in their first language first and then translate into English. But translation slows everything down.
It's like adding an extra step that you don't really need.
Yes, translation is like taking the long, slow road. But when you start thinking directly in English, it becomes like taking the superhighway. Fast, smooth, and direct. Your thoughts and your words start to connect without that extra delay.
And it doesn't have to be perfect. You don't need to know every vocabulary word. You can just use the words you already know. For example, if you don't know how to say microwave, you can think, that thing for heating food. That's enough.
Yes, exactly. And over time, your vocabulary grows naturally because your brain starts noticing English words everywhere. You begin to think in simple phrases like, I need to go to the store, or the weather is nice today. These small thoughts slowly build into bigger ones.
And the best part, thinking in English helps your speaking become faster and smoother. When you speak, you don't have to stop and translate. Your brain just gives you the English words directly.
Yes, it feels slow at first, but it gets quicker every day. And one day you catch yourself thinking, wow, English just came into my mind without trying. That's when you know your brain is changing. It's becoming more English friendly.
I love that moment so much. It's like your brain says, okay, we're doing English now.
Exactly, Jan. And thinking in English doesn't need extra time in your schedule. You can do it while walking, cooking, cleaning, or even waiting for the bus. Just small thoughts here and there, they add up.
And once you start thinking in English, even in tiny bits, it becomes so much easier to bring English into your daily life, which actually leads perfectly into our next topic: how to create your own English environment, even if you're not living in an English-speaking country.
Yes, a very fun and practical part of the journey.
Let's explore how to surround yourself with English every single day. So now that we've talked about thinking in English, let's move to something just as important, maybe even more fun, because once English starts appearing in your thoughts, the next step is to bring English into your everyday life. And the great thing is, you don't need to live in an English-speaking country to do this.
Yes, exactly, Jane. A lot of people think they can only improve their English if they move abroad, but that's not true at all. You can create your own English environment right at home. It's like building a little English world around yourself, piece by piece.
Right. And it doesn't have to be complicated. For example, you can use English learning apps for just a few minutes while you're waiting for the bus, or sitting on the sofa, or having a short break. Those little moments add up.
Yes, and videos are another great way. Watch short videos in English, maybe cartoons, simple news reports, or beginner-friendly content. And don't worry about using subtitles in English. Subtitles actually help your eyes and ears work together.
Absolutely. And you can also add English audio into your day. Listen to English music, simple English stories, or even easy podcasts. And of course, you can listen to us while you're cooking, cleaning, or walking.
Yes, please do. The more English you hear throughout your day, the more natural it becomes. Your brain starts getting used to the sounds, the rhythm, the vocabulary, without you even trying too hard.
And here's another fun idea. Change your phone language to English. It might feel strange for a day or two, but after that, you get used to it. And you learn so many everyday words without studying.
Yes, and you can also read short English news articles or look at English memes online. Memes are great because they're short, funny, and full of natural expressions. Sometimes you learn more from a meme than from a textbook.
Exactly. And all of these little things create something powerful, immersion. Even if you're not surrounded by English speakers, you can surround yourself with English content. It's like giving your brain tiny bites of English all day long.
And when English becomes part of your day, it stops feeling like a school subject. It becomes something you live with, something normal, something familiar.
Yes. And once English feels familiar, your speaking becomes easier. Your listening improves. Your confidence grows. It all comes together naturally.
And there's one more thing that ties everything together, even more than shadowing, self-talk, or immersion. Something simple, but incredibly powerful.
Consistency, right?
Exactly. Practicing just a little bit every day.
Let's talk about why consistency matters so much. So, we've talked about surrounding yourself with English. Videos, apps, music, podcasts, even memes. All of that is wonderful. But Paul, I think there's one thing that truly holds everything together, right? Something simple but incredibly powerful.
Yes, Jane. Consistency. Practicing a little bit every single day. And people are often surprised when we say this because they think they need long study sessions to improve. But that's not really true.
Exactly. Many learners imagine they must study for 1 or 2 hours every day. And of course, that's not always possible. Life gets busy, people get tired, and when they can't keep up with that big goal, they stop completely. But actually, small steps work so much better.
Yes, doing just 5 minutes a day is incredibly powerful. 5 minutes of English every day is far better than 2 hours once a week. Those little daily moments build a habit, and habits build skills. Your brain learns that English isn't something rare. It's something you do all the time.
Right. And when you think about it, it's exactly like going to the gym. If you go to the gym for 5 minutes every day, you'll make more progress than going for 5 hours once a month. Your muscles need regular activity, and your English muscles are the same.
Exactly. When you practice daily, even for a short time, your mouth remembers the sounds. Your brain keeps the English turned on. And because it's such a small task, you don't feel overwhelmed. You can say to yourself, okay, just 5 minutes today. And often, those 5 minutes turn into 10 or 15.
Yes, that happens all the time. Once you start, it becomes enjoyable. And the key is this: don't break the chain. Keep the habit alive. Even a tiny bit of English every day keeps your brain and your mouth active.
Exactly. And something beautiful happens when you stay consistent. You start to feel more confident. Your sentences flow more easily. Your thinking becomes quicker. It all builds momentum, like a snowball rolling down a hill, getting bigger and smoother.
I love that image, Paul. And consistency does something else too. It tells your brain, hey, English is important. We use it every day. And when your brain realizes that, it starts helping you more. It pays more attention. It remembers more.
Yes, consistency creates progress, not by force, but by rhythm. And as long as you keep that rhythm, even softly, even slowly, you keep growing.
And once you feel that growth, something amazing begins to happen inside. You start feeling proud of yourself. And that leads us to a very important topic: your voice, your English voice.
Ah, yes, one of my favorite parts.
Let's talk about celebrating your voice in English. So, after practicing a little bit every day, building those English habits, and keeping the momentum going, something truly wonderful starts to grow. And that is your confidence. And Paul, I think confidence is just as important as vocabulary or grammar.
Oh, absolutely, Jane. Confidence is huge. And one big part of confidence is learning to celebrate your voice, your English voice. But many learners hesitate. They think, my accent is bad, or my English isn't perfect yet. So they stay quiet.
Yes, exactly. So many people wait until they believe their English is perfect before they allow themselves to speak. But the truth is, if you wait for perfection, you might never start. And starting is what makes you better.
That's right. You don't speak because you're perfect. You become better because you speak. Your voice, your unique accent, your rhythm, your tone is part of who you are. It tells your story. And that is something to be proud of, not something to hide.
Yes, and here's the thing. Being understood does not require a perfect accent. Not at all. People all over the world speak English with different accents. French accents, Indian accents, Spanish accents, Vietnamese accents. And guess what? They communicate just fine.
Exactly. The goal is communication, not imitation. You don't need to sound like a native speaker from a specific place. You need to sound like you, just speaking English. And when you accept your own voice, something beautiful happens. You relax.
Yes, and when you relax, speaking becomes easier. You start enjoying the process instead of worrying about every tiny detail. And the more you enjoy speaking, the more you speak. It's a positive cycle.
And the more you speak, your brain and mouth adjust. Your pronunciation improves naturally. Your flow gets smoother. Confidence grows with every sentence you say.
It really does. So, next time you speak English, whether you're talking to yourself at home or speaking to a friend or practicing with a video, just smile and remind yourself, this is my voice. This is me speaking English.
Exactly. Celebrate that. Be proud of that. Because your voice matters, and speaking out loud is one of the strongest signals you can send to your brain that you are becoming a real English speaker.
And speaking of the brain, this brings us to something very interesting, something that ties everything together and explains why speaking helps you improve so quickly.
Yes, a powerful idea. Your brain will follow your mouth.
Let's talk about that next. So, Paul, in the last part, we talked about celebrating your voice and being confident with your English. And that confidence leads us right into a very powerful idea, one that many learners don't realize at first. It's the idea that your brain will follow your mouth. And honestly, Paul, I think this is one of the most surprising truths about learning to speak another language.
Yes, absolutely, Jane. Many learners believe they need to know everything perfectly in their minds before they can speak. They think, I must understand all the grammar, all the vocabulary, all the rules first. But in reality, it works the other way around. Your mouth often leads the learning, not your brain.
Exactly. Speaking creates learning. When you open your mouth and form English words, even if you're unsure, even if you make mistakes, your brain becomes active in a different way. It's not just listening or reading anymore. It's producing. And producing pushes your brain to learn faster.
Yes, when you speak, your brain suddenly has a job to do. It thinks, oh, we are speaking English now. I need to find the right words, the right sounds, the right grammar. Your brain works harder, faster, and smarter when your mouth takes action.
Right. It's like telling your brain, wake up, we're using English now. And your brain responds by building stronger connections, connections between sounds, meanings, emotions, and movements of your mouth. That's how fluency grows.
Exactly. Fluency doesn't grow inside your head quietly. It grows when you speak, out loud with real sounds and real effort. Reading and listening are wonderful, of course. They help a lot. But speaking is what makes everything real for your brain.
And I love the way this works because even if your speaking feels slow at first or messy or a little uncomfortable, every attempt becomes a signal to your brain, a signal that says, this is important. Let's learn faster. Let's build new pathways.
Yes, Jane, and the more you speak, even short sentences, even simple thoughts, the more your brain adapts. It starts to deliver the words you need more quickly. It starts to organize the grammar automatically. It starts to trust the process.
And that's when you begin noticing that speaking becomes easier. Words come out faster, sentences feel smoother. You don't think as much, you just speak. That's your brain catching up with your mouth, just like we said.
Exactly. So learners shouldn't wait for the perfect moment to start speaking. Don't wait for your English to be flawless. Don't wait until you feel completely ready. Because the truth is, you become ready by speaking.
Yes, the act of speaking is not the final step. It's part of the learning itself. It's the engine that helps everything else move. So speak early, speak often, speak freely. Your brain will follow.
And that's the beautiful part. The more your mouth practices English, the more your brain supports you. Speaking creates progress. Speaking creates fluency. Speaking creates confidence.
Exactly. And with that understanding, everything we've talked about, from shadowing to repeating simple phrases, to talking to yourself, to thinking in English, to surrounding yourself with English, it all comes together.
And now, Jane, I think we're ready to bring everything to a close for today's wonderful episode.
Yes, let's wrap it up.
Well, Jane, this has been such an amazing episode. We talked about so many important things today: training the mouth, training the mind, shadowing, simple phrases, talking to yourself, thinking in English, creating immersion, staying consistent, celebrating your voice, and of course, the idea that your brain will follow your mouth. I hope everyone listening feels inspired to start practicing.
Me too, Paul. And I really hope that all of these tips help our learners feel more confident and more excited about speaking English. Remember, everyone, this journey is not about being perfect. It's about practicing, growing, and enjoying the process. You can do it step by step, day by day.
Yes, you absolutely can. And thank you for spending this time with us. We love being part of your English learning journey. And if you haven't subscribed to English with Jane yet, please do. It helps us so much and it lets us know that you want more lessons like this.
And don't forget to share this episode with anyone who is learning English, your friends, your classmates, your family. Sometimes one simple video can help someone feel encouraged again.
Yes, absolutely. And before you go, we would love to hear from you in the comments below. Tell us, What is one simple English phrase you will start repeating daily? We want to know. We really enjoy reading your comments and seeing your progress.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Your time, your effort, and your energy mean a lot to us. Keep practicing, keep speaking, and keep believing in yourself.
We'll see you next time on English with Jane.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye. Keep practicing.